Interesting. I mean, now that you're involved in talent discovery and development, I imagine, I suspect you're monitoring what's going on the home scene as well.
Yes.
A lot of some really, really good young stars coming up. Mary Love Edwards, Onyema Quadri. I mean, what are you personally doing to help their development? Are you thinking of bringing any one of them to your academy in the USA?
Yeah. I mean, normally before, when I left the country, because I remember 5 years ago, I bought some kids, and I said something about where Nigeria tennis is going, and, people, sometimes people are in denial about what is going on, and I told them, I said, listen, this is what is going on. You guys are not doing the right thing. You don't have the right system to be able to groom these players, to play at that level, to compete at that level. But, people go always think what they think. So I told myself, I said, I will never speak about Nigerian tennis again. I said, when I come back to this country. Actually, I stopped that a little bit. I went into music.
More interesting.
I went into music because that's what I want to do. And I always have passion for tennis, but tennis is my calling. No matter where I go, I say, to come back to it.
It's still your first love.
Exactly. Yeah. It's still my first love, and I started with another company. It's called like kind of Course Radio. It's like a mixed music on the internet.
Interesting.
So I decided, I said, okay, let me bring that to the country, but now it's still the tennis.
Yeah, let's do the tennis.
Okay.
That's the word. I mean, look at all those guys: Nadal, Roger Federer, Serena Williams. They've gone on to achieve great things, and there's no reason why Nigerian players can't do that as well. Too. You've talked about the issues that they have stalling their development. That we can use another 1 hour to go through that. But let's continue to talk about the way forward and your own academy right now. What's the composition of the talents that you have there? Are you just dealing with basically Americans, or there are people from other backgrounds as well?
Actually, bro, right now it's just American. It's crazy how people use my information, because I do have the information that can groom a player to be #1 now, even winning the Grand Slam. And this is what I told myself. But I got some very good people, kind people, and spoke to me about it. We discussed. They said, no, don't do that. There's a thing that we can do, because I told myself I will never speak about tennis when it comes to this country, because I don't want to give my information to people that don't do nothing with it.
Well, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but if you get to groom a player that will win a Grand Slam and the player is not a Nigerian, do you think that would be a dent on your personality, knowing that you were a former player and you should have used your own, what do you have upstairs to actually at least groom 1 or 2 players that can, be, if not #1, but at least at the high level, get to the heights where you
mindset.
wished.
Now, right now, I've been doing things for like 2 years. I have a program I've been doing for 2 years. In the next 7 years, these guys, you see them in the Grand Slam.
Do we have anybody from Africa? They narrow to Nigeria now.
Actually, this one other boy is, he's not Nigerian, but the parents, like, they work here, actually, it's Indian, because it's all about dedication. Because the game is that tough. You got to be real with yourself.
Right.
When you get a kid there, because tennis is about nature, got to help you out.
Okay.
If you don't know when the nature kick in and you miss that spot, you can never.
That's the end.
That's the end.
Wow.
Well, not a lot of people knows about this. I mean, this is information I give to people, like I'm talking about overseas, and the Americans, they use me for that.
And we can just have that here in Nigeria, maybe because you felt we're not really getting the support that you needed. What if, for instance, you come back here and organize a clinic or something like that?
Yes, it would be useful. That's what I tell them. Before what was going on in Nigeria, the last time Nigeria were in kind of world group, in group two, I was the captain. I was the #1 on the team. That's where we were going to play. Actually, supposedly we won against Poland. We were going to play Switzerland.
Wow. Okay.
This the group 1. So look at that level now, whereby something is wrong. Why are you guys in denial? Don't be in denial. Let's just help the future out.
Right.
Let's just do what it may. We know what we need to do, and just live ego aside, leave your own pocket aside. Let you do what is best, because I'm a visionary kind of person. No money back, of course you need money to get things going. But there's more benefit from it if we have a Nigeria right now playing the Grand Slam. They would, like the ATP body, ITF, we grant a lot of things to come in the country, but people don't see this. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen. And of course, the kids, you know, the kids that come through that whatever system that we build, they can always give back.
As well.
That's the system the Russians use. And how we can have it here is crazy. But the only way we can, there's a way forward.
Okay.
There's a way forward. Way forward is find out a private and...
Okay. All right. You know, the way forward, we'll talk more on the way forward, but we'll have to go on this break now. After that, we'll talk about the way forward for tennis in Nigeria. Right, we're talking about the way forward for tennis in Nigeria, where Jonathan is still in the studio. Now, we know it's difficult, you know, when you try to make a change, especially when we know that it's been going on for a very long time. You want to bring in something different. There's a new board in place now.
Yeah.
How do you intend to work with this new board and have, you know, kind of a channel, a kind of the way in which tennis will go in the next 4, 5, or 6 years?
Yes, it's all about putting a system on the ground. For sure, you know, deep in your heart, for the last 8 years, 10 years, whatever you are doing is not working. Because the last time in Nigeria was, forget about top 1,000, 800, all of that. It's been the last time I was playing. I was the last Nigerian to ever make it 300, 350, below 500. So definitely, whatever is going on is not right. But I heard there's a new administration, new president. I heard a lot of good things about him.
Okay.
You know, which is very good. But right now, you have to really channel, okay, put a system down and say, okay, in long run, let's make 5 to 7 or to 10 years. Okay, this kid, now this is my advice to them. Any kids that's trying to be a professional tennis player, successful professional tennis player, because anybody can be professional. But when it comes to like successful professional, means you got to be top 100. Before you can see that, if any kid is above 13 years old, 14, he can't make it. Yeah, he will not make it. And it's the truth. If you make it, I'll give him $1 million.
Okay.
If you're 14 years old and you stay here, but there's a way you can do it. You got to put them in the bubble because they cannot think typical. If you think typical, I have to fight to get this, I have to fight to get this, destroy.
Okay, you're talking about the support system now.
Yes. So if they lay a system down, yeah, they're going to be a branch here, but it got to be private, whatever they want to do. It's going to be private here, and there's a branch in the state. And whatever we know, because we do have the information. We have the information that a lot of people around the world are searching for, and we're the future. People will come here to this country to learn tennis because we have it.
The foundation.
Talent about.
We have it.
Obviously. Okay, before we let you go now, Jonathan, I mean, we would have loved to do a comprehensive preview of the Australian Open, but we don't have a lot of time on our hands. But, I mean, it starts on Monday. I mean, just give us your finalists. I mean, what are the guys you think stand a good chance of winning this tournament?
I would say Roger Federer, of course, because Roger Federer is
he's 36. Yes, he's playing good tennis.
I know.
Okay.
But like I told you, it's what you bring to the game. There's a way that skill matters, and this is what I keep telling people. It matters with the skill because they know their ability. When a pro athlete knows his ability, that's why it went away. Because, you know, if I have to compete with these young stars coming up, he knows their ability. He knows, okay, I have to. Because one thing about Federer, he never take his practice lightly. He always think, this is how he thinks. He thinks, I'm not there yet.
Great mentality.
So forget about the age. I'm not there yet. So he work harder even than the younger ones. Okay. And he knows everybody right now is okay. He tells that this is the only thing that make him successful. That is, he might win the Australia Open. The number one thing is he knows I have to stay in the rally longer. Not 10 years ago you can hand it, but this time around you have to put more spin. So if you pay attention to his game, his ball has a lot of kind of hack and spin. So it keeps the ball longer. It doesn't fly off his racket no more. So it means great control, the power. And now today's tennis is that if you can't stay longer in the rally, then
interesting breakdown of Roger Federer's game right now. I talked about the finalists. So you mentioned Federer. What's the other guy?
Of course, Nadal.
Really? Okay. Same as last year.
Yeah.
Same as last year.
Because these people, they never stop building. It's a building. That's why I said, remember what I told you guys. If you miss that form that you're supposed to develop your stuff, then it's like a foundation. You can put nothing on it. It's going to crash. If your foundation is not right, then you're limited, you cap. That's what happened to. That's why they can still dominate tennis by this time.
Okay. Well,
would have loved
to keep it longer, but
it's getting interesting, right?
Getting more interesting. All like is when you're in Nigeria next time, I'd just love to have you here because you need to tell us your personal story, the reason why you quit tennis. But thank you so much, Jonathan Igbinovia, for coming on the program.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go for another break now. We'll come back, judges, and we'll be joining us. We'll be looking at what happened in the Carabao Cup and, of course, the Super Eagles and the China Eagles.